Beatrice Johnson here with BrandExcitement.com, and today's brand booster is inspired by the marketing lessons that I learned at the local food bank. Today I volunteered with a few of my friends from church at a local supermarket to collect food for our local food bank here, and I realized there's a lot of different ways that people do this. I've seen people collect food on the trains, the subways, on buses, on street corners, at drop-off points, at their jobs or at local establishments. I've seen people ask for food to collect for charities at the highway. I've seen people go door to door around the holiday season. And I realized that going to the supermarket, going to the place where people are at, the source of where their donation is coming from, proved really fruitful. In about an hour, we had a table full of the donations that we needed to be able to support the community. So my first lesson, I guess reinforced lesson, was that you have to go where people are at. The second thing I realized, and it was about 10 or 15 minutes into this process, is that you have to be the first investor. As people were going in and out of the supermarket, even though we were speaking to them, I don't think they really understood what we were doing. Then we decided to go into the supermarket and purchase a lot of the items that were needed essentially to start things off and put those on our table. Once we did that, people were really able to easily understand what we were doing, and by seeing the foods that were already on the table and seeing that something had already been started and that we were the first investors, it was easier for them to be able to join in with us. We had people to come out and give us bags of items needed because they were only going into the store to get a cup of coffee, or they were only going into the store to get a loaf of bread. But because they saw that we were already investing in this cause, they were willing to invest with us as well. The third marketing lesson that I learned is that you really have to state your mission and others will gladly join in. It was my first time doing this type of volunteer effort. So at the beginning, I was fumbling through my words. I wasn't quite sure what to say. My sentences were really long. And as I kind of figured out how to communicate and stop wasting people's time and kind of get straight to the point and say, hey, we're collecting for the local food bank. We'd love for you to contribute if you can, one of the items on the back of the card. Right away, they were able to understand what we were doing, understand who it was for, and know that there was no pressure for them to respond in any way, but that they would, take it upon themselves if they felt compelled to join in with our mission. And it was just amazing to see how this table filled up within the course of an hour. I mean, it was unbelievable. So I think those are three marketing lessons that we need to constantly make sure that we're reinforcing within our business, within our life, within the way that we do things. The first being that you need to meet people where they're at. Sometimes that means physically being where they're at. Sometimes it means meeting them where they're at in the process or stage of their life or stage of their business. The second thing is you have to be the first investor. And we kind of know that, but we don't always live it. If you go to a bank and you want a small business loan, the first thing the officer is going to say to you is, how much have you invested for yourself? How much do you have in the bank? What are your plans on making, more money to go back into this business? So it doesn't surprise us that you have to be the first investor. But how often do we look at our funds and think, I can't afford to, I just have to wait? You can start really small. Some people went into the store and they brought out a can of tuna. And we're grateful because that's something that's helping someone further down the line. The third thing that needs to be reinforced is that you have to state your mission and others will gladly join in. Now, were there people who went into the store who, completely ignored us or threw their hands up or didn't want to speak to us? Of course, absolutely. That will always be the case because it won't be for everyone. But for those who really felt like they supported our mission and wanted to join in with our mission, they came out, sometimes with a few items and sometimes with several shopping bags of food. So look for ways in your business this week that you can do those three things. Meet people where they're at, be the first investor, and make sure that you're stating your mission so that others can gladly join in. I'd love to hear how you've already used some of these kind of standard practices within your business, or how they're starting to retrain what you're going to do for your business this week. If you want to continue to receive tips and tools and resources, free templates and classes and other things, make sure you join me over at BrandExcitement.com. Until then, I'd love to hear your comments below, and we'll speak again soon. Bye.